Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for your patience. You are watching this Ride With, hashtag Ride With, featuring United States Criterium champion and all-around good dude, Ivan Dominguez. Ivan is described by anybody who's raced with him as the freaking fastest cyclist in U.S. history. That comes from Sam Johnson, former Continental Pro. He's a decorated professional cyclist, a missile, a highly adequate triathlete. We'll dig into that as well. You know all of these descriptors, but he's also a guy who loves Zwift, and we are glad to have him with us today. So if you're joining us, and there are some folks out on course who quickly ran away from us, you can find us here on the Volcano Loop and join us, because we're going to do some fun stuff, have some good conversation. But I'd like to welcome our guy. Ivan, how's it going?
Oh, good. Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Oh,
this is very awesome, actually.
Very cool. All right, so tell the people where you are riding from right now. I think they can tell by a little bit of the look.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. That's just a win. You know what? I think a lot of the people who are watching will connect with you definitely, because they spend quite a bit of their training time out in the garage, and to see you with your decorated history, you know, just being like one of us, just chilling in the garage. Well, not so chilling in Las Vegas, but yeah, it's awesome. It's really cool. So it's fun to be able to connect like this. If you are watching on Zwift Live, on YouTube, on Beam, on Twitch, you know, if you're, whatever, on your mom's 13-inch black and white TV, if you're joining us there, feel free to jump in with questions. We will answer those questions live. Whew. As you can see, the hardest thing to do is to talk and ride at the same time, and that may be my only talent. I can't go fast, but I can talk and ride at the same time. Okay, so I've got a bunch of questions for you, both those that I've prepared by other people as well. But we like to start this off with a little challenge for you. We call it the gauntlet, and it's time for you to run the gauntlet. You're gonna have 10 questions in 60 seconds. 60 seconds. And if you complete it, you can win a prize, either for yourself or for a lucky viewer. Today's lucky viewer is Nathan Starnes, and he will have the opportunity to win this prize if you win it for him. Now, I'll describe what that prize is up front. It is a barely used tube of chamois butter original. So that's the prize on the line today. You could win this, Ivan, or you could win it for Nathan. And as I mentioned, it's barely used. I've only used a little bit of it, but this is today's prize. Okay, 10 questions in 60 seconds. Now, these are all questions you should know the answer to, but how quickly can you pull them out? It's time for the gauntlet. Get ready. I will run the timer, and we will go from there. Yes, you and I stay together. Okay, how many days a week do you ride on average? Okay, in miles or kilometers, your longest ride ever. Ooh, okay. Your hardest ride ever. Okay, favorite ride that you still get to do. Okay, excellent. What was your first bike? Oh, okay, and what is your favorite bike that you own now? Okay, we gotta go quick. How many bikes do you own? How many hours do you exercise a week? Oh, yeah, we already asked that one. Shimano, SRAM, or Campy? Okay, all right, good. We're gonna say that you did it. You ran the gauntlet. And so I'll give the option to you. Would you like me to deliver this partially used tube of chamois butter? Or would you like to give it to Nathan? He's pretty good. He's a pretty good dude. Okay.
Tough too.
Okay, we'll do it. That sounds fabulous. Okay, so excellent work. You know, those are easy questions, but I want to go back. And revisit one of those.
Okay.
So tell us about this favorite ride, and I'm asking in a completely selfish way because I'm going to be in Los Angeles in about another month. So I'm like, maybe I want to do this ride. Tell me about this ride.
Well, I used to live there, so it's by Malibu Canyon, Thousand Oaks area. Is one of the best places to ride. For me, that's my opinion. All over the United States, it's one of the best places. The weather is amazing.
Malibu Canyon.
All year long, and then you get the chance to go to the beach and ride on the beach for easy, like 30 miles or so. But this ride is actually, they have everything from rolling to flat, completely flat, to depend which canyon you want to take. You can climb from 5 miles to 12 miles long climbs back to the house. It's basically, I start in Westlake, where I used to live, down going north on Potrero Road. It's kind of up and down to Camarillo. On Camarillo and Las Posas Road, you make a left turn, and that will take you straight to the PCH. That's by the coast. And then on PCH, you make left, and you will ride kind of flat with an awesome view all the way to Latigo Canyon. It's about 11 miles long.
That's a name I know.
Right. And then I go up on that one, or sometimes I take Canaan, or I will go straight all the way to Malibu Canyon. If I go to Malibu Canyon, we're talking it's going to be like a rolling ride, not major hills. If I go on Latigo, then yeah, you're talking about 9, 11 miles long climb in between.
Okay, that's, you know, and isn't part of what happens there? Like every Sunday, they have like a throwdown ride. They do.
Right.
Yeah. I had a buddy.
Every Saturday. I don't know if when the season starts they're still doing it, but every Saturday, when it's an off season, you have the Simi Group ride, one of the fastest rides down in SoCal.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I know the one you're talking about. It's darn cool. Okay, yes. Well, I'm going to get out there and do that. I'll make my guy Jason, my guy Quan take me out there.
That ride can be from 3.5 to 4.5 hours, depending how fast you go.
Okay, yeah, that's my kind of ride. And at what point in the ride can you start making your excuses? Do you make them before you start riding, like, oh, this has been a heavy load week for me, or I didn't sleep well? When do you make the excuses?
Right when I'm sitting having breakfast.
Okay.
Every single day. Why I'm doing this?
Why am I
pro anymore?
Yeah, exactly. I should do something else.
Right. Yeah. And my wife is like, go ahead, do what I do. You will see.
Now, how long have you guys been married?
Oh, since 2005.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Right. I'm not going to say there's a long time because you know how the mommies get when you say it's a long time.
Yes. That is hilarious. Yeah, you definitely don't want to overplay the length of your time together.
Right.
It's supposed to feel like 5 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. That's awesome. And how did you guys meet? I actually don't know this.
Well, my wife, she rides as well.
Okay.
When she can, but she used to ride a lot. She used to live in Miami, and I used to go down to Miami a lot to see my friends when I was living in Orlando. If I didn't have any race on the weekend, I would go down there. And then one day I was riding with a bunch of friends on Key Biscayne, and then I passed a huge group. This from one of my friends' bike shop, Max Burger.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was in the front, and next to him was this cutie riding. And then we passed it because we were going fast, and I look and I say hello to my friend. Hey, I will see you later at the shop. And then and then she was next, and I'm like, who's that? So later on, after I got home, after I got to my friend's house, I text Max, who is the girl riding with you? He was like, oh, come by. She's coming at 1 o'clock. I was there at 12:30.
Oh, I love it.
And then she was there because she was going for a trip, and she was packing her bike. So when she showed up there and we started talking, and she was like, okay, whatever. I don't know who you are. I don't care. And that was when we met.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that you met on the bike. That is so cool.
Right.
That is so cool. Oh, well, I mean, it is. It's wonderful when you have at least that love. I mean, over time you develop the hatred, of course. You know, most professionals do. And then the less time you spend, then right, you develop that love again.
Yeah. We don't ride together as much, but sometimes we kind of, because we have Max, so it's very hard to deal with riding together. So, but when we can, we do it.
And how old is Max now?
He's 8.
Oh,
he's going to be 9 in May.
Okay, I'm just going to throw this out there. I think you and your wife need a tandem.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But could she handle you on the front, or would you have to be the stoker?
I will have to be the stoker because she say that I drag her nuts when I'm riding with her, because she said, you always come next to me, stay in my wheel. And she's like, if I could do that, I would be, but I can't.
Sounds like my date rides with my wife.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I want to ask you, if I can, a couple of selfish questions. Now I have a story that I'm gonna ask you about in just a minute. But I became acquainted with you in 2007, and I live in Boise. You were in town with Toyota for the Wells Fargo Twilight Criterium, and that was a good night for you. But we'll come back to that story in a minute. So that's where I became introduced to you, and I blame you, along with a few other locals, with making me go, hey, that actually looks like fun. This was before I realized it wasn't actually any fun at all.
Right.
But that was one of my moments. We'll come back to that story. So the question I guess I have for you is, now, and you've talked with Dave Toll about your history, about how when you emigrated, when you kind of discovered it. But I wanted to dig a little deeper into that. And my question that I'd start with is who, and it may be several people, but I'll ask it this way, who taught you the most about sprinting, specifically about sprinting? It could be multiple people, yeah.
Right. I guess as a kid, I was always kind of like not super fast doing things. I used to be in track and field too.
Okay.
I did many sports before cycling as a kid. And then I was always a little bit faster than everybody, but not super fast. So I was more like in between. Kind of like an endurance guy, but a little bit less. So when I jumped into cycling, back in Cuba, as a kid, they put you to do many things. Racing on the track, racing cyclocross, or you name it. I did everything in cycling when I was a kid. And then, like I said, I always like to spin more than the other guys. And then my coach, my first coach, he's actually in Miami, one of the best coaches that Cuba had.
Okay.
Yeah, Antonio Dieguez, that was my first coach. He basically said, man, I think you're going to be really good on the track, like 4K pursuit point races, but you can be also really good for the road, not too long, kind of like a rolling hard, not a long climb, but like the one that you can get over those little bumps and then make it to the finish with good legs.
Where you can use your power without having to subtract your kilos.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then from that point, I started getting myself more into the track. And yeah.
So, well, track cycling is great in the places that can have it because it's safer, it's controlled. you can do much, much more in the space more often. Obviously,
Right.
no cars.
Right.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful spectator sport as well.
Right. Well, in Cuba, it's not many cars, anyways. Back when I was there, but in Cuba, it's way different than here. I mean, don't get me wrong, we get accidents all over the place.
Oh, of course.
It doesn't. But back in Cuba, somehow the way people are, the culture is a little bit different than here. Over there, people tend to love those kind of sport a lot more. So when they see cyclists on the road, they always move, and then they give you the space. They know who the riders are. They know who's in the national team. They know those kind of things.
Yes.
So that is actually help when you're riding on your own on the street. That you see a huge truck coming by, and the guy's like, "Hi, man!" You don't know who the guy is.
Yeah.
So
you know who they are.
Yeah, and then even to the point, I was talking with a friend the other day. Even to the point, because someone posted on Facebook a guy drafting behind the truck, and people are like, "That's why people they hate cycling." I'm like, man, I don't know, because when I was back in Cuba, and I'm riding on my own somewhere, or even with a team, you see this huge truck, he would slow down and say, "Guys, you want to drive?" Sure. We were there for like 60, 70 miles drafting, and the guy's letting you know where the hole are, and then no complaint at all. So it's way different than here.
Yeah, you mentioned that, and I think that almost everybody who's ridden has a drafting behind a vehicle story. Now,
Right.
kids who are watching, that should not mean that you go out and try to draft vehicles.
Yeah, I want to be clear. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do what we're about to tell you we did and loved.
Right.
But I got passed very slowly by a double-decker hay truck. So it had a full load, and then an extension, then another full load.
Oh, man.
And it was this 18-foot tall hole in the wind, and managed to find a spot in there. He passed me slowly so I could ramp up.
Right.
And I think I rode him for, oh my goodness, maybe 7 or 8 miles.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
It was really, really cool. I think we topped out about 40. Yeah, it was, I think lots of people have those experiences. Maybe it was a bread truck or a UPS truck or one of those.
Right.
That let them do it. It's pretty dang cool. Well, that's awesome. I mean, because I think everybody, has these people like you do in your life who kind of were their gateway drug to the sport. Whether good or bad, they lured you into trying it out and and get you hooked. And awesome things come from it. Okay, so I have this theory that it doesn't matter what we do, as long as we put forward our effort in developing talent at something, that it actually fits into other parts of our lives that we didn't think about when we selected it. So bike racing, and I'll get more to the point here, specifically sprinting even, is a skill that you took a long time to develop. Off the bike, what is that talent in your world? What have you been able to do with what you learned on the bike? Does that make sense?
The main thing that I learned from sprinting, and to take it to the regular daily life basis, I guess, it's, and this is me.
Right.
And that's when I was racing, in everything that I went, that's something that I always try to transfer to the team when they have to do a lead out or something like that.
Yeah.
What I learned from sprinting is to be patient.
Be patient.
Very, very, very patient. Because I have to, on the race, I'm waiting. And my teammates are like, they want to just go flat out. I'm like, and I'm on the radio. Not yet. Slow down. Not yet. Slow down. Someone attack, let it go. Just keep the distance. And to the point that I got teammates back at the team car when we were done, saying like, man, I don't know how can you be so calm coming to the last 2K. We're like, we just want to go. I said, yeah, I know, but I have to keep you calm because when we do things rushing, always we're going to make a mistake. So if I'm calm, I have to transfer that to you so you guys are completely calm, not worry about anything. So I kind of transfer that to life as well.
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, not because it's me saying it, but I'm a very easygoing person, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I try to be very calm with people when I meet people. It doesn't matter if it's an old people or, you know, I don't like to be rushing. Yeah.
Well, I love that really it teaches you patience, and patience can have the payoff that you want.
Right.
And you basically built over example after example after example that was true in your world.
Yeah.
Confidence and patience, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's
because
about
I think,
it. Yeah.
Do you think impatience comes from the lack of confidence for some?
Yes. They get kind of nervous, I would say. Even if they're really good, but they don't have that kind of patience. They're like, we gotta go now. I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, relax. You know, and that's when you see guys jumping from too far or from waiting too close to the finish.
Yeah.
So,
boy, I think there's so much truth in that. Okay, so I'm gonna actually bring in that story right now because I think it fits perfectly into the discussion that we're having. So, let's go back in time. 2007. You're in town for the Boise Twilight Criterium. You're racing, I believe, that was a Toyota year.
Yeah, Toyota, yes.
That was Toyota. And so this is the Wells Fargo Criterium. And this is the pro race. It's at night. It doesn't start until, 7:30 or 8.
So, something like that, yes.
It's a dark one, which are always a little scary anyway. Any of us who have watched the Athens, crashes, because those seem to be the most popular videos out there. Right. We know all about it. But so let's see if you remember it the way I remember it. It's getting into the closing moments of the race. There have been plenty of small groups off the front. Nothing sticks. Everything gets pulled back. And people are, with about 5 laps to go, it has strung out completely. And in a race, I mean, you tell folks, I mean, how many in this race? Typically about 130?
120, 130, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a ton of people, wheel to wheel, in one long continuous line. And so, as we're watching this go by, totally mesmerized by the speed, we see you and a teammate sitting on the very back. You, my friend, are tail gunning this event. In fact, you have your hands on your hips with 5 to go, sitting on the very back of the group, looking as relaxed as you can. And then, over the next 3 laps, your teammate brings you very artfully to the front, maybe 5 riders of this group. And we're watching going, oh my gosh, there goes Dominguez again. No way, look how much he's moving up. And you've got a teammate. And then with about 2 laps to go, it really gets serious. And I don't know if it was the same teammate or another teammate. It was all a hot blur. He comes around with 1 to go, and you've probably got a 5 bike length gap on the rest of the field. And then you proceed to solo around that final lap for the win. Do you remember it the way I remember it, or have I added some flourish to it that maybe we all should add?
I don't remember it like very well because I mean for me it's kind of hard to remember how the race develops sometimes. Yeah. Because I'm just in my zone. Like to be honest, sometimes I'm like, I know it's a guy trying to take me away, but I can't remember his name or I can't remember his face because I'm just on my zone. People come, they touch me, they try to get in my rear, and I didn't even look. I know it's normal. I know they don't want to crash me, but I know they want to be in the right place. So I just let it be and try not to get into any fight. So it's hard for me to remember. My teammates are like, do you remember who was the one pushing you? I'm like, no, forget about it. It's okay. So But definitely, like you say, and that's people ask me a lot about that. I'm probably one of the only guys, well, used to be sitting in the back the whole race into like 20 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go.
And is that driven by confidence? Is that just the confidence that you understand how the race is going to develop?
Right. And that's something that I try to teach the people that I coach, because I give them the option to call me or text me when they're about to go racing or whatever.
Yeah.
So I can give an idea what they need to do as long as they describe the course. Well, I have an idea. Okay, you can do this and that. For me, it's a lot of confidence place, because I know when it's a really flat criterium, it's really hard to break away.
Yes.
The field is moving 35, 37. So basically you have to do 40, 42. It's not going to happen.
Right.
It's not going to happen because
not
it's
for
too
an
flat.
hour.
Not for an hour. It's too flat. So what I do, plus also when you have teammates doing work for you, it makes things easier. I can see there,
for sure,
and they know what to do. So another thing is, I'd rather be sitting way in the back, away from all the trouble and all the pushing that's happening in the whole race, than be sitting halfway of the group or in the top 10 fighting for every single corner for 1 hour. It makes me tired.
Yeah. Makes me tired just thinking about it.
Yeah. So what I do, I just sit in the back, trying to spin. I do some kind of little sprint in the back of my own, kind of let the group go and jump back to kind of start testing the legs. 20, 15 minutes, I pick the right time to move to the front. If the race is going, and that's one thing that I see a lot, guys doing it, all the newbies, the race is going 35, 37, even 40 miles an hour, and you see a guy on the right, on the left side trying to move up. I'm like, dude, think about it. The race is going so fast. You have to go super hard to get to the front. Just wait 1 or 2 more minutes, and you will see when they slow down, you move in.
Yeah.
So I always pick the right time to move up. I was just not like desperate to move up. I wait. When they slow a little bit, I go in the side of the turn, and I move like 20 position, 30 position, and nothing.
So I think some people have the instinct that you described there. Did you develop that instinct? Were you taught that instinct, or do you think you had it?
I would say I would have it, and then, knowing that the race is not going to go anywhere, because I have teammates that they have a job to do.
Yeah.
It gets easier. But when you race on your own, it's a different story. You have to be more alert. So,
for sure. Okay, well, I want to get to a couple of the questions of the people who have been asking these. So, Taya Freestead, who is a really strong women's racer, she does our Saturday events all the time. She says, have you always been a sprinter, or is it a skill that you developed over time?
That's one question people ask me a lot.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I was not a sprinter back in Cuba, like I said earlier. I was a 4K individual pursuit rider.
Okay.
As a track rider, you have to train the speed a lot.
Yeah.
You need it for the track. You need it. And I guess when I came to US, I was moving faster than a lot of guys, and they're like, "You're sprinting." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not? Okay." And then I start training for that a little bit more than normal, because I had a job to do that I don't want to mess up. So I start dedicating myself. Even though all my training was more like a road guy, trust me, I love to train on the hills.
Yeah.
If I don't have hills, my form will go downhill. I need those long climbs, even if I'm not going fast training, but I need it on my legs. It makes me stronger. I need those long rides. So I'm not a pure sprinter, but I guess I can move fast sometimes.
Yeah, well, I think that your rundown, which is visible down here below on the ticker, of all the things you've won, would argue differently that you are a sprinter. So I've got a great question for you. So, it's a would you rather, and I always love these kind of questions. Would you rather climb for 2 hours or time trial for 1?
None of those two. I will pick climbing for 2 hours.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, on my own pace.
Okay. At your own pace. All right. That's fair enough. I think all of us, there's no good answer.
At my own pace, I will pick the 2 hour climbing. If it's in the race training, I will pick the 2 hours. If it's in the race, I would rather go and do the time trial and be over with it.
Be over with it. That's a totally fair answer.
Yeah.
So Tiffany Larson, another really strong women's rider, asks, what are some of the strategies that you have for dealing with nervousness? And so and there's an associated question there. Do you get nervous? And if so, how do you deal with nervousness?
Yeah, of course. I mean, every rider gets nervous at some point. The thing is, and that's one thing that I tell the people the riders that I coach, you need to race. You need to race. If you don't race, you need to find a group ride that you can do at least once a week. Because the more you spend in that kind of situation, looking close to like a group ride that's kind of like a race, or if you race every weekend, you start building more confidence in yourself because you get used to it. Everything, it's repetition. Also, how your training is going. The more good quality training you do, the more confidence you start building in yourself. You know how good you're riding. You know that automatically those guys are going to go for 5 minutes and you're going to be on your threshold for those 5 minutes. You know that after that you can keep going without any problem.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
Again, everybody gets nervous. I get nervous too. But like I always say, hey, it's another day in the office.
So let me see if I can bring this down into a consumable for Tiffany, because there's a lot of good stuff there. But I think what you're basically saying is that everybody gets nervous, but the way to fight that nervousness is not necessarily at the line, but when you line up for group rides or other races or training where you're with other people and you can build confidence in your abilities. Right.
Repetition. Yeah. The more you do it, the better you start getting at it. But you have to be careful not to do it too much, because then if you start doing every 2-3 fast group ride every day, every week, and racing, you will start getting tired. Yeah. And then you will start feeling like, oh, I don't know if I'm good for this. Because a lot of people, they don't know when they're getting tired. They're overtrained. And then they start getting, they lose the motivation. So, but I would say, if you can do a crit or whatever, a race or a good group ride every week, once every week, it's awesome. Yeah.
I think that's dead on. Okay, so we have a couple of sillier questions here for you. What are some of the best cycling pranks that you know or have seen? Best cycling pranks.
Best cycling pranks?
Yes.
Oh.
So let me give you an example of one, and maybe this will jog your memory. Okay. So a friend of mine mistakenly left his saddlebag at an event, and he unfortunately left it at an event, and what ended up happening was that a couple of things got placed in his saddlebag. Some birth control devices individually wrapped, a pair of underpants for someone not his gender and not his size, and just a couple of other things, so that when he pulled out his tube, the tiny string, we'll just call it the G string, acted like a parachute and pulled all of the other items out onto the ground.
Oh my God.
So that's an example of a great cycling prank.
Oh, well, here in US, I haven't had any of those, but I can tell you, man, in Cuba, we were bad boys.
Really?
I'm going to tell you one that's actually pretty funny.
Okay.
We went to the Tour of Martinique. It's like a 7 days race. Awesome race. And then at the airport in Cuba, we about to board, right? We like getting into the plane, and then we have this coach that he's always speak kind of like slow, and always like with that kind of sound in his mouth, like, "You guys are a disaster. You always making bad things," kind of like that, always complaining about us. So one of the guys, he got a suitcase, and he put in there with some kind of red things. This is, I have to say the way it doesn't sound Nazi, but anyways.
Right.
You know, when the ladies are in their periods.
Yes, those items.
Those items. He put some red stuff there, and he put it on the suitcase. And he went to one of the flight attendants, because normally the coach, they carry all the passport, all the athlete's passport. So we went and said, go and ask him that you need to check the passports again. So we were already sitting, and the lady goes there. She knew what's going on.
Oh.
And then he said, oh, we need to check the passport for everybody. Oh, you guys always making trouble. To the lady, like the lady in the flight, and complaining the guy. The lady, well, we have to see it. Man, when that guy opened that thing, oh my God.
Oh.
You can see he changed color from like white to like super red. He started looking for the riders like, what the hell?
He knew who did it immediately.
Oh my God, that was terrible. That was one.
Oh my goodness, that's a good one. You know, I'm a big believer that sports, it doesn't matter what the sport is mostly an opportunity for guys to make fun of each other.
Right.
Right. So it doesn't matter what the sport is. It's just an opportunity to give each other good-natured grief.
Yeah. It keeps things fun, you know.
It does. So let me ask you another, a couple. These are two quick questions. What's one of the best prizes you've ever won, either for a preem or a race?
I would say Charlotte, the criterium in North Carolina. Awesome criterium, very fast. The prize, the first year that they had the race, the prize money for the first place was $25,000.
Whoa!
Yes, and only 90 minutes of racing.
Wow.
So I won that one. Back when I was racing as a pro, the prize money used to be a lot higher than now.
Yeah.
So we were talking about every race that I won, or I was top 3, you're talking between 20, 25, 15, 12.
Yeah.
That was the kind of prize money. Unless you go and do one of my favorite one-day race in US is Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, the prize money for the first place was, I believe, was $40,000, I think. Something like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, my biggest prize money is Charlotte, $25,000.
Okay. So here's the next one. I was just gonna say, so if those are the best actual cash money, if we're talking about prizes that are not money, what's the worst prize that you or somebody you know have ever won? And you don't have to give away sponsor names.
No, we can go all the way back to Cuba then.
Oh, can we?
You win a race and they give you a pine cone thing glued to a little piece of wood. I'm like, that's it. And this is what you're going to give me a 5-hour road race?
A pine cone on a piece of wood.
Yeah. We always make jokes about those things back in Cuba. You guys are bastards. And the promoters of the federation will slap about because, nothing they can do with no money over there to plan those kind of things. But we were keeping the jokes between the cycling community. It's not like you go to a TV, I did this and look what I got,
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so here's another question that might resonate with our amateurs, our local heroes. Did you ever go for a preem or a mid-race award just because you didn't want another guy to get it?
I don't remember doing that, but I remember having the team combined with other teams chasing one guy that we don't like the guy to win or to get any money. So we're like, this guy's an idiot. He cannot win today. And we put like 2 guys from my team, 3 guys from another team, another 2 guys from another team chasing that guy down, up and down.
Just because you didn't want him to win.
Because there's the teams don't want the guy because he got a big mouth, or So
yeah, that makes me think of a different question that that I think again a lot of the people watching, viewing will pay attention. We've got a couple more questions we want to pull down from the crew in just a second, but my question would then be, what is it that makes someone well loved in a peloton? The Il Patron, right? Fabian Cancellara, often described as the Il Patron, the patron. What is it that makes someone more respected in a peloton, even if you're racing against him?
Right. I will say, like I always say, respect to be respected.
Respect to be respected. I like that.
Yeah. You have to be a nice person, man. I mean, you're going to be dealing with these people from different teams for the whole year, right? Racing against you. But what happened, maybe the people that you were racing, 2 or 3 guys that you were racing against this year, they might be your teammate next year.
Yeah.
So you have to think about those things. You have to be nice, respect everybody, don't push without a reason. We all know the sprinters, even the climbers, when they go to start climbing, they kind of do some pushing because they want to be in the front.
Yeah.
They all know it's normal, but you don't have to overdo it. You don't have to grab someone, push him, grab by the handlebar. There's no reason for that.
Yeah.
As long as you lay it on that, they know that you're trying to be there too. And it goes the same for the sprint. I know I'm going to have guys trying to take my wheel. I know that because that's the way it is. It's not like I want to crash him or they want to crash me, but that's the way the sport goes.
Yeah.
So we do things to the limit that we know that no one will get hurt.
I like what you said.
Crashes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it happens. It definitely happens.
It happens.
And sometimes the mistake that causes the crash is not the person who goes down. Well, more often than not, right? The person who makes the mistake isn't the one who goes down.
Right.
But I like that. I like respect to be respected.
Yeah.
It's just a way of operating.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you're in those kind of situations, you start learning. I mean, you don't have to over push. You don't have to do anything. It will happen eventually. And then if you crash something by mistake, if you crash someone by mistake, the best you can do is when the race is done, go and see them, talk to them, and apologize. Like, Mary, I didn't mean to do this. This guy brake in front of me or cut me off. You saw it, and everything goes good.
Yeah, it takes a lot to go and apologize.
Yeah. Right, especially if you know the guy is a little bit hard hit, just wait. Don't go after the race because the blood is still going. The adrenaline is so high. Don't go and say anything after the race. Just wait late at night when everybody meets at the bar. Go, hey, can I talk to you? Yeah, sure. Sorry about what happened today. I didn't mean to do it. This is what happened. Yeah. In the same way, this applies for team mistakes. Never try to fix a problem that happens in the race right after the race.
Oh, yeah.
Because riders in the team, they might make a mistake and you didn't win the race and you get upset. If you're going to talk about it right after the race, trust me, you guys are going to end fighting.
Yeah, so they're going to be hurt feelings.
Right. So
bitterness.
Let it be. Wait until everybody gets to the hotel, take a shower, and then at dinner, hey, can we talk about what happened today? And man, everything is said the right way.
Yeah, that's really wise. And I think a lot of guys, even in local racing, make that mistake. They want to yell at their teammates
Right.
because they think they've spotted what the error was, and it wasn't
Right.
them.
Right. And then what that happened, this is what those kind of things, when teammates start yelling between each other right at the parking lot, this is what happens.
Yeah.
The other teams are going to see that, and they're going to be like, you see, there is your weakness. They cannot keep it together. They're going to be fighting. We got to use that against them.
Yeah. It's true, and they do. You'll be on a climb, and the GC or the protected rider missed the break, and you come up to them and whisper, "Man, I don't know why they took off without you," and then they have the climb to just stew about it.
Yes. So.
Oh, so true, so true. That's really cool. Okay, so I want to let's go back in time a little bit here, and then I want to ask you some questions about what you're training for now. But this is one, as I was just kind of going through your race history, your bio. In 2005, you raced in the Vuelta Ciclista Independencia, right?
Independencia, right?
In Independencia. I've been working. Hey, I spent 2 weeks in Ecuador this year. I've been working on my Spanish. It's still terrible. Lo siento. That's all I've got. But it was in the Dominican Republic, and it.
Right.
What was it like returning to not your home country, but a country that shares a ton of traditions and social flavor and cuisine? I mean, there's a lot of similarities.
It's awesome. I always like to go down to those places. I like to go down to Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic. My wife is from Panama, so we try to go every year. So it feels like going back home.
Yeah.
The weather, the tropical,
Yeah, your favorite weather.
Right, the music, the food. I won't say the music because I'm not into that kind of music and I don't dance it. And that's something that my wife is mad about me. I'm with the only Cuban that don't dance. But yeah, it's awesome going down there. Like when I still get invitations to go, but it's for training as a triathlete now, it's kind of hard for me to deal with those races because I have to be off the running, off the swimming, because every day you're gonna be racing for almost 10 days. But I love it. I love going down there. Yeah, there are great races. The level is very high, and the guys really know how to race. And it's from the gun. These guys are hacking all over the place. So yeah, I really love it going down there.
Okay, that's neat. As you think about not going home, but kind of going home, just wonder if there's kind of a homey feel in the Dominican Republic,
right?
For you in that way. Okay, so I have one really important question that I think all of us who do enough criteriums want to know. This one comes from, well, let me ask you a funny one first. Quan Nguyen says, was it weird the first time someone tried to give you a massage as a professional?
No.
Okay, there we go. Sorry,
Not
Quan.
at all. I love massages.
So, I had to ask that question.
It's natural, you know that you finish a race, a really hard race, and the sommelier is just waiting for you at the hotel, and they have a list who's going to go first, next. So you just show up, lay in the table, and man, you just dead out. You fall asleep. Yeah.
Yeah, they ring you out. Oh, I love it. I wish I could have a masseur more often than I do.
Right.
But for some reason, my wife is not interested in that job. So I don't know why.
It's a hard job, man. Trust me.
Okay,
all that energy, it goes to the person that's giving you the massage.
Yeah. That's true. They have to apply it.
Right.
Okay, so Eric Denning asks, and this is a more complicated one, but can you talk about your final lap sprint strategy in a criterium? But this may be final laps.
Okay. Everything also goes into my teammates.
Yeah.
I always tell the guys, if we made it together, we're gonna control a fight, depending how big is the course, 5-10 laps to go. Or if it's another strong team with all the strong guys, we like let them take the front, we just sit behind. And in the last 2 laps, we go with all we got. There's no room for like passing him only 2 miles faster. No. You have to go with all you got. And don't worry about me, I'm not gonna lose any wheel.
Right.
So, and then for me, when the last guy moved out of the way, this is one thing that I always did. I don't wait for the last guy to move out of the way.
Right. You don't wait. You move.
No.
You start to make the move when you sense he's fading.
Right. Because if I wait until the guy move away, someone might come from behind. But this is also important. I always wait before my guy moves because I know that I have a long spring.
Long spring.
I can go from 350 or 400, and I know that's going to be hard. When I get to the speed that I want, and we're talking about between 60 to 72, 74 kilometers an hour, depending how flat or tailwind or whatever.
Yeah.
I know that when I get to that speed that I can maintain, it's really hard for riders to come around. And I saw it many times. I went from 300, and you see guys sitting in my wheel, and you see the director sitting outside with his hands in the head like he went from too far away. And they're like looking, and like, they see my arms in the air, and they're like, what the hell, how can he do that with this fast guy sitting in his wheel? But that was me. But yeah, definitely I don't wait for my last guy to start fading. I just go when I see the finish, I say, I can go from here, and I go from there. And my thing is, I'd rather finish top 3 than 20.
Right.
If I go from here and one guy pass me, I still on the podium.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want to wait 2 seconds later, 1 second later, and I have 20 guys jumping from behind. And then how I'm going to move? There's no room.
Yeah, you've got no doors to move through. Oh, that's really, really good advice.
Right, unless you push someone and you're looking already to hurt somebody else. So,
right. Well,
but that's the way I race.
That is awesome. Okay, so we've got just a little bit of time left here. I want to ask some questions about your new life. You've made the transition from fast twitch to very slow twitch triathlon work.
Oh, yes.
What?
Yeah.
So the first question is, what did you learn in your professional career, largely as a sprinter, but, well, that's what you're most decorated for, but what can you apply from that experience to triathlon? What fits there?
We're going to go back to the beginning. One of the questions, patience.
Yeah. Patience.
Patience. In triathlon, man, it looks like it's not, but you have to be very patient, and because you will pay the price on the running, or you will pay the price in any of the 3 sports. If you're not a fast swimmer, and you jump trying to stay with the front guys, they can swim in 1.2 miles, they can swim 22 minutes, and you're in the 26, 27. If you want to try with those guys, after 300 meters, that's it. Your arms are dead. That's one. Going onto the bike, patient. The first 20, 30 minutes, you have to go with the numbers that your coach are telling you, or whatever numbers that you can keep very decent speed but not killing yourself. Because I'm telling you, if you're in the 300 FTP and you in the first 10, 20 minutes are doing like 450, 500, oh my God. The last 1 hour is going to be a pain to get to the finish. And then you jump onto the running and your legs are completely fried. So patient again, you have to be very patient. And in triathlon, you have to really know your numbers. You really have to know your limit.
It's a numbers game. Do you like that part of it? Because it's it's less about feel and instinct, which you're very good at already, and more about trusting your training, and your strategy, your plan.
Right. Yeah. You, even if you like it or not, you have to pay attention to the number, and you really, really, really have to pay attention to the nutrition. Because if you don't get it at the right time, you can pack your things and go home.
Yeah.
Yeah. you're going to be walking all the way to the finish. Yeah. So you have to pay attention to those two key things. It's all nutrition and how fast or hard you're going to be going. Especially on the long triathlon. We're talking about half Ironman and full Ironman.
Have you been old ladied yet? So at some point in the race you get past and you look at her calf and you see her age at 57 or 61.
I haven't yet, but I do have lady passing me, okay?
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna give you an example. In Oceanside, I lost the pack on the swimming. It was a terrible swimming. After swimming in the lake and swimming on the pool, I jump in the open water, see in the salty water. I'm like, holy moly, I'm not in a lake, and that kind of caught me off guard. Then I got a kick. I was on top of a guy on top of me, and I lost that pack. The swimming was a disaster, right?
Right.
I got to the T1 transition one. I got to jump on the bike, and I'm passing like 7 girls. They left 3 minutes behind me, the pro girls. You know, in the swimming, they were like 3 minutes behind. Somehow they passed me, and then I'm passing them on the bike. I'm like, holy shit, that many girls? I'm terrible at this. But you know, they're professional. They're not
They
bad
are, and they're really,
yeah.
really well trained and strong.
Right.
And they're so strong.
Yeah, so not halfway, but in by 20 miles or so, I see one, and I'm like, this has to be the last girl, and then I start seeing more guys. I go to the running after the 56 mile. I'm running. I pass you guys, and then it's this lady, this girl running. And I'm like, no way. It's no way. It's no. It cannot happen. I mean, I didn't see the girl on the bike, and then I see her on the running on the way to win the 70.3 for the pro girls. I'm like, oh my God. But you know, when you look at her results, she's a world champ.
Yeah.
So it's not just anybody. But it happens, you know, it happens. The swimming can put a toll on anyone if you're not ready for it. So, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just things. It's a sport. Some people swim faster, way faster than others. So.
Yeah, it's true. They have those natural talents, and we tend to, and this is interesting in triathlon, we tend to undertrain the thing that we have the most confidence in, and sometimes overtrain the others.
Right, and then people, it's like, oh, as a cyclist, you're going to kill the bike course. I'm like, no, you have no idea how good those guys are on the bike. They can keep those watts up there like not many cyclists. They might not good in criteriums, but when it's a straight line, putting those big numbers with big gears, those guys are really good.
Yeah, they really are. Really are. Okay, so, well, we are at our time. We're about to finish this thing, and if you're up for it, we finish this thing with a sprint.
Oh boy!
It's you.
I'm a triathlete, man.
I understand that, but I am an old man and a grandfather. So by rule, you have to give me 2 seconds.
Oh my God!
2 seconds.
You know what 2 seconds means in Swiss?
Yes, but it can be just a 2 second delay in your sprint. You don't have to give me a gap of 2 seconds.
Okay.
But you can't go until you name. Are you ready for this?
Well, I'm going to point that my pockets are full of thumbs up, so I might be a little bit heavy.
Yeah, you might be a little heavy. So, but you can't go until you name your cycling crush, not your wife, but the professional that you met for the first time and were like, oh, I can't believe I'm meeting this person, and where you met. You have to do that, and then you can chase me.
Oh, man. Let me think.
You better hurry.
I don't remember, but I'm going to go now.
Oh, okay. Oh, for goodness sake.
Let's go. Come on. Right there.
Oh, that is unfair.
Oh my God. That hurts, man.
Well, good.
I don't do those kind of training anymore.
Which is why I sprung it on you without telling you. Oh man, this has been fun. Thanks to everybody who watched. Harry Sakanis, who just mentioned a moment ago, commenting on your very good cadence. Yes, he has a very good cadence. I'll work on mine. So many people giving you love. Please follow him on Twitter, right?
Yeah,
I am Ivan Dominguez.
Or Instagram, or Facebook.
Instagram. Yeah. Yes, very approachable, very reachable, and we love having you as an ambassador to the cycling community.
Thanks.
It's just a lot of fun. So thanks for riding with us, and we'll see you out there. Thanks everybody for watching and for hanging out.
Thank you.
See ya.
Yep. Bye.